Okay, let's pick up where we left off except with the dominant side. So alternating advanced lunge and balestra, right? Advance, slow, accelerate versus balestra, all in speed. All right, so 30 seconds of alternating, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This should feel more natural, of course, than the other side. Make sure you're keeping your torso upright. Make sure your legs are working hard. And despite all the work in your legs, make sure your hand is very relaxed around your foil. Just a few fingers and the thumb. Don't let any movement of your legs make you grip or tighten your grip on your foil. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest. While we're resting, let's review parry positions. Facing me, 6, 4, 7, 8. 7 and 8 I also call septime and octave. Tierce or 3, that's 6 turned. Cant or 5, that's 4 turned. Prime, point your elbow, look at your watch. And seconde or 2, where you slap the mosquito off your leg. Hope you know all those, and of course, theoretically, any of those can be done with a counter parry or a circular parry, including prime, which surprises some folks, and septime is like this. So, in theory, all of those can be done with circles as well as oppositional. One more set of timed, alternating advanced lunge and balestra. Facing your target, we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep yourself moving. Ten seconds gone. Alternating, changing tempo, explosion, acceleration. 20 seconds gone. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. All right, so let's review the 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, and then we'll add the 4, 7, or 4, septime. So again, from your point of view, if you're facing me as a right-hander, I parry 4, I miss your attack, you come under my blade, I circle back around and catch you the way that I had intended to in the first place. This is an alternate to the windshield wiper parry. If you come at me and I miss 1 and come back, it's very easy and natural to do a 1, 2. But I don't want you to do that, so I miss the first one and I make this circle and I end up catching you back in the position of 4, reposting here or reposting with a disengage. So if you're looking at me, it's 4 counter 4, come back to 6. 4 counter 4, come back to 6. This way it's 4 counter 4, riposte, and back on guard. 4 counter 4, riposte, back on guard. 4 counter 4, riposte, back on guard. Notice that when I do 4, I don't make a big loop with my elbow. That's not the pivot point. The pivot point is right here at my fingertips. Again, this is a zone defense, not player to player. Let's now make the combo 4, 6. That's a windshield wiper and then a counter 6. If I'm right-handed, I'm making a clockwise loop. So it's 4, 6, counter 6. 4, 6, counter 6. 4, 6, counter 6. If you are a lefty, which I forgot to do a minute ago, 4, 6, counter 6. For lefties, a counter 6 is counterclockwise. And to go back for a moment, a 4 counter 4 for lefties is 4, counter 4 with a clockwise direction. 4, counter 4, 4, counter 4. You can practice this any time of the day or night with a pencil or any sort of a ruler, anything like that. Or for example, this Scrabble tile holder I have in my basement from the game of Scrabble. My coach, I think I told you, maybe practice these in his car. I would go 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, holding a pencil. We haven't done that precise combo, so let's do it together. It looks like this. It's a loop-to-loop. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. Again, if you're lefty, it's just the opposite. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. So just do the loop. It's like one continuous loop. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. Straight, then a circle. Straight back, then a circle. Straight in a circle in one direction. straight back a circle in another direction. This is meant as a sort of smoke screen, or I've used the analogy of throwing up a lot of barbed wire on a battlefield, particularly a World War I type battlefield, throwing up anything to prevent the enemy from penetrating. So if you do a whole series of these combinations, it can be hard for someone to find the target. So a useful combination, in addition to these circular parries, is a sort of semicircular parry, and that's the 4-septime or 4-7. If your opponent is anywhere in this area, they're doing a 1-2, or looking for a doublé, or they're feinting, or they're simply sitting there, this 7 parry, the low line parry, is like a broom. It sweeps everything. Obviously, this doesn't work if someone's coming in from a high line, but if you have someone who's fencing you sort of like this, sort of traditionally, and their lunges are about chest height, or a little lower, you can use this 4-7 combination. And the advantage is, again, it's not a windshield wiper, so it's not easy for them to do a 1-2. If they lunge and they disengage and they're here, I can grab them with this 7 parry. It's almost like I'm doing a half counter 6, as it were, but I think of it as a crescent or a half circle from 4, miss the parry, I come back and sweep like with a broom and catch them here, riposte low line usually, but of course you can also go high line. So it looks, from your point of view facing me, if you can do this with the video, you lunge at me, I4, you disengage, and I come down here, and I catch it, I sweep it, and make a riposte. 4-7, or 4-septime. 4-7, and then a riposte. 4-7 can be a riposte down low, of course. From this angle, 4-7. In fact, a good thing to do is stay in 4 and just practice this. Going back and forth in a semicircle motion. 4 and 7. You can do the mirror of that with 6 and 8. That is not as strong a parry just because of the physics of the thing, but it certainly can work. So 4-7 and riposte. So let's do 5-4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, and 5-4-7s. 5-4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. Go. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. Make sure you're going in the right direction. If you're righty or lefty, right? Do not make a circle in the wrong clockwise direction. 2 more. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6. And from the en garde position, 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. And on the principle that I keep touting of doing things outside your comfort zone, switch hands to your non-dominant side and do 4-7. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. 4-7 riposte. Practice those so they are automatic. And when you fence next, whenever that happens, do some drilling on that. It's really a good drill to do. All right, we have practiced lunging and staying in the lunge and parrying 4 and riposting. Now we're going to do this with a recovery, but we're going to lunge, we're going to parry 4 with a recovery, and then do a counter 4, and then a lunge to riposte. So each movement has 2 lunges. And as you're recovering, you're doing a natural parry 4, and if you miss, you're making a circle. So again, it looks like this. Lunge, recover, parry 4, make a counter 4, and then lunge on the riposte. Lunge, recover 4, make a counter 4, and lunge on the riposte. Lunge, make a 4, counter 4, and lunge on the riposte. Okay, I hope you were watching that. Now face your target, and I will call it. Ready? Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, riposte with lunge. On guard. Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, riposte with lunge. On guard. Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, riposte with lunge. On guard. 3 more. Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, lunge with a riposte. On guard. Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, and riposte with lunge. 1 more. Lunge, recover 4, counter 4, and riposte with lunge. And rest. Look at me now. The other thing we practiced, the other parry and defense in the lunge we practiced was this tierce, sometimes a conto de tierce, a counter 3. If I lunge at you and I'm parried, if you parry me this way, if you're right-handed and you parry 4, I have an instinct to push back. You know, if someone pushes us, we like to push back. But a better move often is, if you parry 4, I go ahead and let that energy take me and I come around to a counter 6 possibly, or a counter tierce of 3 where I turn my hand much stronger, like karate chopping someone who's a lot taller than you. So from your angle, you parry 4, you're coming at me with a riposte and I'm making a circle and catching you here. And from there, I like to drop and hit in the flank. Hope that's clear. I'm lunging, you're parrying me. I come back, not with a counter 6, but with a counter tierce or 3. My hand is this way, very strong parry. Drop for the riposte. One more time. I lunge, you parry me. I use the energy of your parry to make a circle, a counter tierce, catch you, drop and riposte. Maybe from this angle it helps. I lunge, you parry me. There goes my blade, but I'm bringing it around and catching it up here defensively, dropping my hand and riposting. So face your target. And lunge. When you recover, make that counter tierce. It's like a counter 6, but your hand is turned so it's palm down. Drop your hand and make a riposte to the flank. Again, ready? Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop hand, riposte flank. On guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop your hand, riposte flank. On guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop hand, riposte flank. Speed it up a little bit. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop hand, riposte flank. 5 more. On guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop hand and riposte to the flank. On guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop your hand, riposte to the flank. On guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop your hand, riposte flank, and recover. And on guard. Lunge. Recover, counter tierce. Drop your hand, riposte to the flank. Again, this is giving you a lot of different tools. So defensively, you have 4 counter 4, 6 counter 6, 4 7, and also if someone parries you with a 4 parry, assuming it's righty righty or lefty lefty, you can come back with this counter tierce, drop it, and hit them in the flank. It's really a good exercise. All right, let's go back to a couple of more timed advanced lunges and balestras, alternating advanced lunges with balestras. Face your target. We'll be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternating balestras with advanced lunges. Keep your body moving, but keep your fingers loose, keep your shoulders loose. Keep going. Alternating lots of energy in these in your legs. And keep at it, just a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, a learning principle that you can use for anything in school or learning a language or whatever is you do a little bit of something, then you take a break and you come back and do it more. It's like you get a little taste of something, you come back and you want more. So we have talked in the past about absence de faire attacks and how to defend against them. I'm going to remind you of that in this video, which I'm almost done with. Take it up again in the next one, in the third one. So I remind you, first thing, if you find, and you have to determine this quickly, someone in your about against you is doing a lot of absence of blade, their blade is over here or up here, and they're coming at you, and this is now the right of way. The first thing you need to determine is that the kind of person that's going to hit me on this attack? You can also determine that by watching them fence other fencers, by the way. Instead of just chatting with your friends, you can go analyze. So if you think that's going to be the case, you be the attacker all the time. That's one possibility. Second possibility is if they're coming at you, keep your distance. Be very mindful. You often have more distance than you think. And I find this 7 position is disconcerting, and it sort of covers the target in a diagonal slash way that's sort of odd. And from there, of course, you have to be able to time your parry. You may come up to 4, you may come up to tierce or 3. You don't know, but you have to be able to time it. So this is a defensive posture, like hiding behind the castle wall. And finally is the contretemps, where you throw out a false counterattack. They continue their attack because you've done exactly what they want, but you parry, which is your real intention, and you riposte. So they're coming at you with a bent arm. You throw out this, it's like a hand grenade almost, and they ignore and keep going, and here's your real defense. This is to provoke them to finish the attack, and then you catch the attack with your parry. So it's a provocation. They come at you, you throw this out, and they, in an instant of time think, perfect, that's exactly what I want. I've got the right of way. They think, and they come at you, but your real intention is to parry and riposte. So the contretemps looks like this, and there's the parry riposte. More on that in the last video.